Day 2, it's time to learn a little something new for some maths. So we will be learning just a little bit of how to tell the time. I want us to know how to tell the time to the hour and half hour. With a clock, you have this, which is called the face, and you also have two hands. Okay, the blue one is my big hand, which is called the minute hand, and this yellow one is the hour hand. Someone give me a time. Kevin, Jerry, Lucy, Rio, anyone give me a time? Okay, I'll choose my time. I can't hear you. How about 5 o'clock? So 5 o'clock, we're going to get our hour hand, and the hour we want to point to is the 5. Just here. And o'clock, does anyone know where that's going to go to? Great, o'clock is going to go to the 12. If we have 5:30, we keep the hour on the 5 and we make it 5:30 down to the 6. Sorry, you can't see this very well. I've got another video for you, so keep watching this. It's going to show you more examples of how to do hour and half hour, and then I'm going to ask you to do your own. Okay. Now let's have a look at the time on this clock. Can anyone tell me what time it is? That's right, it is 3 o'clock. I hope you didn't just look up here. I hope you already knew that. How do we know it's 3 o'clock? Well, let's first have a look at the hour hand, which is the small hand. What number is it pointing to? 3. That's right. Okay, and let's have a look at the minute hand, or the big hand. It's pointing up to the 12, which is always 00, or what we say is o'clock. Okay, so this here is 3 o'clock. What about if I want to make it 3:30, or also 3:30? Where am I going to put the minute hand? The hour hand will still point to the 3, but we want to move this minute hand like this, because that's the way a clock moves, all the way down to a 6, okay, which is always the 30 or the 30:30. Let's have a look at this hour hand. Right here it's still pointing to the 3, but because it is past 3, we want to move the arrow a little bit past 3 o'clock. Oh, sorry, 3 hour. We don't want to move it all the way to the 4. It wants to be in the middle of the 3 and the 4. Okay, so when you look at a clock like this, the time is 3:30. We know it is 3 because it's not quite to the 4 yet, but it's just past the 3. Let's have a look at another time. Let's try the time 5 o'clock, and then also 5:30. So let's start with 5 o'clock. Let's get an hour hand. What's the hour? 5. So it's going to point to the 5 on the clock. And the minute, 00, where does that point to? Can you remember? Great job. That's going to point all the way up to the 12. All right, what about 5:30? We need to move this minute hand. Do we also move the hour hand? Yes, we move it just a little bit. Okay, in between the 5 and the 6. And then the minute hand is going to go all the way down to 30. 5:30. I hope that video was easy for you all to understand. Now it's time for you to do the work. I've given you 10 different times, just an hour and half hour, that I would like you to either draw on the clock, or you can cut these out and stick the time on the clock to show me. If you do it this way, please take a photo of every single time, or if you draw them, please take a photo and send it all to me so I can check all your work. All right, happy telling the time. Remember, it's only half hour and o'clock. Bye.